Hello and welcome back to the TNT Business Podcast. I'm your host, KT Temple, and I'm here with my co-host, Pamela Temple. Hello, Pamela.
I'm on a different computer today, so it might say something. Thank goodness we don't have video because people would be very disappointed if they thought they were going to see Pamela Temple pop up on the screen and they got me.
She is still our second highest episode, episode 1, when I interviewed Mom. She's the second highest one. The only person that beat her.
I had lunch today with our highest episode ever, I think.
TJ?
I had lunch with TJ.
TJ's still number 1. So let him know whenever he wants to come back. That's free views for me.
So here's the thing. If 10 people will send in this week and say, we want TJ back, then I think we've got next week covered, but in 2 weeks we'll have TJ back on the show. But I need 10 people to send in that they want TJ.
Yeah. They might be sick of us talking about war since it's the thing we're forced to talk to every week, it seems like now. So before we get into that,
just quickly, yes, we're going to talk some more about the war today, but it's just a different take on it. This is right now for those of you that want to listen to a business podcast, and that's what we're talking about. That war is affecting business as much as anything in recent memory has. Yeah. This war is probably affecting business since we started COVID, and how that. So in 6 years, this is probably the biggest thing.
Yeah, which is not a lot of time, to be honest. And we'll talk more about that in a second. I do want to thank our sponsor, the Temple Team. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, you can find us at thetempleteam.com. We are a local real estate company out of the Charlotte, Lake Norman area. We've got agents all the way from Hickory down to the Fort Mill area of North Carolina. But if you're looking outside of that area, we still want to help you. We've got a network of top realtors that are happy to help you no matter where you are. So if you're thinking about making a real estate decision, again, you can find us at thetempleteam.com. So, you know my favorite show growing up was Dragon Ball Z, and like every single episode, it was last time on Dragon Ball Z, and that's what I feel like right now, just doing a recap every single time.
Well, the thing is, we're 8-9 weeks in, and I just don't know what to call it. Is it the Iran War? Is it the what? Do we have a real name?
It's a war.
I think most people call it the war in Iran.
It's the war in Iran. I think the first time we talked about it, I was like, when do you, you're bombing a nation, right? To me, that's the start of a war. You can call it whatever you want. I think everyone, at least in the media, it's a war now. They're not really beating around the bush anymore.
I guess the question is, KT, is when we're looking at history 20 years from now, what do they call it?
Yeah. The biggest flub of an American president in a long time, I would suggest.
KT, here's the thing. I guess we could probably start here. There are people that know what the nuclear threat was of Iran. And if that truly is what we're trying to solve, then they did the right thing. There's a lot of people think we did. There's just not enough people that know the true answer in there. But we definitely don't need anybody else having the capabilities that already a few of us have.
Sure. But if there was any proof of that,
well, there is.
Feel free to let us. Well, sure. But last year they said they blew it all up, and then this year suddenly they've got it again. So I don't know about that.
This is where you can see the difference on which side of the middle KT and I are on, because we both we share a lot of common interests, common thoughts about our nation's issues, much more so. But this is where we kind of get sideways, because KT has a distinct mistrust of government that I don't have. So.
Yeah, I have a full.
Oh, by the way, he had a strict mistrust of his parents' ability to tell him the right thing to do as well. He just hasn't grown out of it yet. It's the same thing. Just like his dad told him, don't move to New Jersey, you're going to hate it. But he had to do it for 4 months before he left New Jersey and went to Austin, Texas, which is perfect for KT. The only place more perfect for KT than Austin, Texas would be Japan, but that's for a different day.
Japan eventually. I don't know if you know this, but not everyone's really loving Americans right now. So I don't know if we're going to do a lot of international travel quite yet. So let's do a quick recap. So we kind of started this 2 weeks ago. So April 1st through the 6th, peak of the escalation, the blockade threat, the U.S. issued an ultimatum demanding the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz by April 6th, threatening extensive attacks on Iranian energy sites if transit remained blocked. Regional fallout, Houthi forces increased activity.
Well, here's the thing. So when by the way, when that was threatened, that look, we'll go ahead and take out everything. Two things. First off, that's when the rest of the world went, okay, time out. That's when the rest of the world went, okay, we can't be having destroying things that will truly affect civilians more than it will anybody else.
Committing war crimes is the word you're looking for.
Here's the other thing. That's why that was a complete bluff. That wasn't ever going to happen to the extent they were saying it. It's just right now you got so much rhetoric going on. But that is what, and I really think that bluff is what actually got them, which is we're going to get to in a second, to the table to talk about, okay, how can we get peace out of this?
Yeah. So, lastly, from that time frame, from April 1st to the 6th, reports from early April highlighted that Iran's internal infrastructure and regime legitimacy were severely weakened by sustained strikes and economic collapse. April 7th through the 8th, we had the agreement. Following 40 days of sustained combat, a 2-week ceasefire was brokered between the U.S., Israel, and Iran. The ceasefire remains tenuous, with Iran demanding reparations and control over Hormuz, while the U.S. maintains a naval blockade around the Iranian ports. April 9th through the 13th, the diplomatic push. President Trump and Vice President Vance signaled that progress was being made, with Pakistan emerging as a potential neutral venue for formal negotiations. And then there was European intervention. France and the UK began drafting a post-war plan to secure the Strait of Hormuz independently of the U.S. forces to stabilize global shipping. And that brings us to today.
So what's happening is Iran saying, we're going to control this strait. And the U.S. is saying, well, no, you're not. And our Navy's bigger than your Navy. And what Europe was trying to say, because here's the thing, KT, no one should control that. And one of the big sticking points right now is, Iran's charging $2 million in Bitcoin for a ship to pass through now.
I think it's in Chinese. I think it's actually in like the yuan, like it's in Chinese currency that they're.
Well, it can be either. But they haven't done it in Chinese currency yet. China don't want to get on the bad side of everybody. They're already a little bit on the bad side in this way. So, but that, by the way, that's against international law to charge to pass through that strait. So Iran can't legally do that yet. I know that there have been reports that possibly some ships have paid it. What needs to happen is the U.S. and Iran both need to get over this. We're going to control this. And we're going to charge. That's just not going to happen. The rest of the world's not going to let it happen. But the U.S. is doing the blockade to keep Iran, because what they don't want to happen is Iran to hold everything up except what benefits Iran, which is what they're doing right now. So now, if it's not open to everybody, it's not going to be open to you too. So that's why we've got each side sitting and staring at each other on that one.
We got blockades on blockades on blockades.
Yeah. It's shutting down a lot of stuff, and we're really feeling the effects of it in our economy right now.
So, current standoff. So the U.S. Treasury announced it will not renew the temporary easing of oil sanctions, specifically targeting Standard Oil currently at sea. And we've got the IMF warning. The International Monetary Fund officially downgraded the 2026 global growth forecast to 3.1%, citing the abruptly darkened outlook caused by the conflict.
100%. I mean, this is definitely affecting the entire world.
So,
and it's just go back. I can't believe I'm saying this because it's over 4 years now. But if you go back to 4 years ago when Russia invaded Ukraine, and it was like, well, that's a long way from here. But oh man, did we feel the effects of it? And we didn't feel it. The rest of the world did in the beginning, because the first thing is a ton of the world's grain comes out of that region, and then that got shut down. Well, we're okay. We got our own grain. Oh, wait a minute. Russia makes more fertilizer than anybody. So then it started affecting our farmers. We are truly a world economy, and things like this are gonna ripple. If we were not a world economy, by the way, KT, the U.S. would be better off than anybody right now in terms of what's going on in the Middle East, because we actually have enough of our own if we had to do it, but it's not the way it works.
No.
Even though we import very little oil that comes through the Strait of Hormuz, if oil prices go up, our oil prices are going to go up because it's a world economy.
Yeah, everything we have uses oil, and we import everything that we need. You know, we're not making iPhones, we're not making these kind of things. All of that is imported, so this is going to affect you at the end of the day, no matter what you use. We are not a manufacturing economy here in this country.
Even if oil was not used in so many things, and it is, but even if it wasn't, it would have a huge effect on us because oil is used to ship the vast majority of things. Whether it's, no matter how it's coming, it's going to take gas to get there. In so many instances, it would affect it no matter what. And like I say, right now the economy is really, really feeling the effects of this.
So let's talk about that more, because there's a second part. There's the cyber front that I want to talk to afterwards. But with Brent crude having spiked past $120 a barrel during the peak conflict, fuel and energy prices will remain elevated.
Yeah. So when CPI came in this week, the Consumer Price Index, the target for that is 2%, and it came in at 3.3, and it was only 2.4 in February. It came in at 3. That's a huge month over month and year over year change in there. That was all driven by fuel cost. I mean, that is what caused that to go up, which again, that's going to cause inflation, and that's going to cause us not to reduce rates, because they're going to try to keep rates higher to avoid the inflation. Now, here's the thing, KT. If you forget about CPI for a second, the one they like to look at better is core CPI. And when you look at core CPI, that'd be CPI minus the two most volatile things, which is energy and food. If you pull those two things out, it was 0.2%, which, if you look on an annual basis, that'd be 2.4%. We wouldn't be that bad. So it is not trickled down to affecting everything yet. The problem is, the longer the oil prices stay high, the more pressure there is for other prices to go up. We're just not feeling it yet.
Yeah,
but we will if this doesn't get fixed. And that's one thing I know, that because of who our audience is, we talk a lot about rates here. It's going to be tough to have any cuts in the Fed rate and the overall rates that we see while all this remains elevated. So as long as we're in conflict, as long as that strait is closed and stuff's not coming through, you're going to feel more and more pressure on small businesses.
Yeah, the maritime blockade caused a grocery supply emergency in the Gulf. This is a ripple effect on global fertilizer markets and food processing costs. And it just says, sharp price increase, 40 to 120% spikes have been seen in some of the regions. Any other thoughts on that before we talk about the cyber attacks that are forecasted as well?
Yeah, my thought is this needs to end.
I mean, I think that's the scary part, man. What is the off ramp of this? What does that even look like? And I think both sides are having trouble figuring out how do you stop it.
So, KT, there will be both. Okay, when this does end, both sides are going to claim they won. But there's going to be things. For example, I really do believe that there will be the Strait of Hormuz will get back open. That has to happen, or seriously, Iran will starve itself to death if it doesn't. So that's going to get opened back up. I think Iran will make some serious concessions around nuclear weapons and things, the enriched uranium that goes into that. I think that's going to happen. I think the U.S. will give them a lot of money to rebuild. That won't be talked about a whole lot, but we have to give somewhere. We will give them money to help them rebuild once they, give in to the things that we want. The one thing we haven't talked about in all this, though, is Israel's still over there, and they still are acting a lot on their own. But KT, this is this would be like me and you sitting around talking about somebody's family that's arguing about something. That ain't our family. And the Middle East is the Middle East. And when I was a kid, peace in the Middle East is what they talk about. They ain't never had no peace in the Middle East, and they ain't never gonna get no peace in the Middle East. It's just not. It is always going to be in conflict as long as you and I are walking this earth. It just is, and they have issues that go back hundreds and thousands of years it's always there's always going to be a little bit of powder keg there. You just have to know that.
Yeah. So, cybersecurity, your favorite thing.
So I get to take a nap now.
Well, I mean, it's it's not a big thing. It's kinetic warfare pauses. Cyber attacks on U.S. energy and financial infrastructure are expected to rise as a form of asymmetric retaliation by Iranian-aligned actors. All that means to you, those small business owners who listen to this, go change your damn password. Go get a password management service, and it will be the easiest way to protect yourself. I've said it on this show so many times. And when these things spike, when these conflicts spike, this is when people go, oh, okay, let's figure out how to attack them in ways that they will feel it. And, no one can invade America. I mean, they're really fun YouTube rabbit holes to go down to on what would actually have to happen for a country to invade America. And it's laughable what they would have to do. What they can do is they can do cyber attacks. And they could do cyber attacks all the time. I don't know if you know this. I don't know why it's not a larger headline, but there is a mortgage company right now that is completely under attack. And there are millions of Americans that haven't been able to pay their mortgage because they all go through this one company and they had a cyber attack. These things are happening. And so you're looking at, have you even heard about this, Dad?
Oh, I'm looking it up.
Yeah, go look. Mortgage cyber attack going on right now. And so go make sure if you're on auto payment, go check to make sure your mortgage was paid. There's little companies, but all they need is a couple different passwords and usernames to do damage to you. And if you go and get a password manager, get encrypted passwords, have different passwords for all your different things, you need to go and just set that up. Promise it'll help you.
And by the way, even KT's, who has the most non-tech father in the world, has a password protector.
Good. All you market center leaders, dude, one of the most frustrating things when I go and start working with a market center and they send me an Excel spreadsheet full of passwords. I mean, it is laughable. Some places that still, and I go work with businesses. I sit down with a business owner and they go, hang on, let me pull up my Excel spreadsheet of all my passwords that is literally online. And a lot of real estate agents listen to this. Your job is to protect people's largest investment of their entire lives. And you can't be bothered to change your password. Well, I don't respect your business then. And so, it's just something to think about. How seriously do you take your business? Go change your password. So
your mom gave Salem. So Salem is our 6-year-old granddaughter, one of the grandkids, and Salem logged out, and Salem said, "Bella, what's your code?" And your mom has the same 4-digit code that she has for everything forever on her phone. And now it's funny. Salem will go, she sees your mom's phone, she will go pick it up and put the code in and be doing stuff on it. And it freaks your mom out, but she doesn't know how to change the code. So yeah. And the thing is, that code is, I guarantee you, it's her debit card pin, and it's all.
Now that you're saying this on a live podcast, please go change that when we're done here. You're really doxing yourself right now, man.
Anyway.
Cool, guys. Well, that's, I think, all we got for you. Next week, we were talking about what the plan is for the next few episodes of the show. We're going to try to do this every other week. We can only do war updates so much. It's not what we want to do. It's what we have to do. Just to stay up to date. So we're going to do this every other week, but in getting a guest in here in between the other weeks until this kind of slows down. Yeah, hopefully we won't have to do these episodes much longer.
Hopefully this is the last one. Then.
Hopefully this is the last one. Fingers crossed.
Don't forget, 10 people. If all you have to do is send us TJ. If it says TJ, dagummit, we're going to get him on here to talk about something.
I just make it up. TJ doesn't listen to us. I'll just pretend to be 10 people and be like, TJ, God, we need you. Look at all these people named Katie, Ken, and Kent's. Oh, they all want you here.
All of them. All of them. DJ.
All right, guys. Hey, I want to thank our sponsor again, the Temple Team. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, go to thetempleteam.com. We'll see you guys again next Wednesday. If you found this episode interesting, found it helpful, please leave us a review, share it with a friend. It really does help us out a lot. We'll see you guys again next week.